Sometimes you don't plan on becoming someone's brother. It just happens. We only stopped for gas and directions, but 5 minutes later, I was staring down 3 angry men and realizing I just put myself between them and a Hell's Angel. Before we begin, tell us where in the world are you watching this from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Your every comment, gift, and membership helps us bring more heart-touching stories to your life. 2 days after that stormy night on the highway, Cole's Harley was running smooth again. We'd been driving side by side, me in the truck with Emma in the back, Cole rumbling along just behind us, heading nowhere in particular. The road felt lighter with him around, though I didn't admit it out loud. By late afternoon, we'd been on the road for hours without food. The map showed a small town ahead, so we pulled into a faded gas station with a single pump and a buzzing soda machine outside. The place looked half forgotten, the kind of stop where strangers aren't just strangers, they're entertainment. Cole parked his Harley by the curb while I fueled up. Emma was half asleep again, hugging her rabbit. The sun was dipping low, casting everything in amber light. We figured we'd grab some directions and coffee. It should have been a 5-minute stop. It wasn't. Inside, the station smelled like fried oil and cigarettes. The cashier, a wiry guy with tired eyes, nodded at us but said nothing. Cole went straight to the counter to ask about a shortcut to the interstate. That's when the bell above the door jingled, and 3 men walked in. They weren't here for gas. Their eyes locked on Cole immediately. One of them, a broad man with a crooked nose, grinned without humor. Well, he said, stepping forward. If it ain't the ghost himself. Cole stiffened but didn't turn. Not here for trouble, he muttered. The tallest of the 3 laughed. You don't get to choose, brother. His eyes flicked to the Hell's Angel patch on Cole's back. Word is, you still owe. I didn't know what they meant, but the tension in the air was thick enough to choke on. Cole stayed still, his hands relaxed at his sides, but I could feel the heat rising off him. I'd seen that stillness before, back in the storm, right before something shifted in his eyes. You boys should go, he said finally, voice low and steady. But they didn't move. One stepped closer, close enough to brush Cole's shoulder. Or what? You'll run? Again? I didn't know their history, didn't care. All I saw was 3 men cornering the guy who'd been riding alongside me for days. The guy who, just nights ago, had trusted me with more than I think he realized. I glanced toward Emma in the truck outside. She couldn't see us from there. Good. Hey, I said, stepping up beside Cole. I think he told you to walk away. The man turned, sizing me up like I was some bug he'd scrape off his boot. And who the hell are you? It wasn't bravery. Not really. It was instinct. The kind that kicks in when you know someone's outnumbered and you're the only thing standing between them and a bad ending. I'm the guy telling you this conversation's over, I said. My voice didn't shake, but my palms were sweating. The tallest man laughed again, the sound ugly. Cute. You're not one of them. You think he'd do the same for you? Cole's voice cut through, cold as steel. Try him and find out. The cashier shifted nervously, muttering something about calling the sheriff. But nobody moved for the phone. Then the man with the crooked nose reached into his jacket. Not fast, but deliberate. I tensed, every muscle ready to throw myself forward. Cole's body turned slightly, shielding me without even thinking. Whatever this was, it was more than some roadside insult. You still ride under their colors, Cole? Crooked Nose said, almost like it was a crime. You can't just disappear. Cole's jaw tightened. Watch me. I didn't know if it was my voice or my presence beside him, but something in the moment shifted. The 3 exchanged glances, calculating. Then the tallest one leaned close to me, his breath sour. Careful who you stand with. Some roads don't have turnoffs. They backed toward the door, slow, like they wanted us to know they'd be back. As the bell jingled again, the air finally loosened. Cole didn't move right away. He just stared at the floor, breathing steady. I realized my own hands were still curled into fists. "You didn't have to do that," he said finally. "Yeah," I replied. "But I did." He looked at me, and for the first time, there wasn't just gratitude in his eyes. There was respect. We stepped outside. The sun was lower now, casting long shadows across the cracked pavement. Emma waved from the truck, oblivious to the storm that had just passed inside. Cole lit a cigarette, the flame briefly catching the scar on his cheek in orange light. He took one drag, then flicked it away like the taste was bitter. "You ever hear of the Devil's Run?" he asked suddenly. I shook my head. "It's a ride. Not just any ride, the kind you take when you've got nothing left to lose. I took it once. Shouldn't have made it back." The way he said it made my stomach knot. "And them? They part of that story." "Yeah," he said. "And they don't forgive easy." The drive out of that town was quiet. Emma sang softly to herself in the back seat, her voice a fragile thread that somehow kept the world together. Cole rode close behind, the Harley's low rumble matching the beat of my heart. When we finally stopped at a roadside diner miles away, the neon sign buzzing in the dark, Cole slid into the booth across from me. The waitress poured coffee, and for a while we just sat in the hum of clinking cups and murmured conversations. Then Cole leaned forward. "You know, Jack, stepping in back there? That was stupid." I raised an eyebrow. "You're welcome." He smirked, but it faded quick. But it was the kind of stupid I won't forget. Later that night, we pulled off into a small campground. The air smelled of pine and cold earth. I got a fire going while Emma curled up in her blanket. Cole sat across from me, the flames painting his face in shifting gold. "You've got people looking out for you," he said. "That's rare. Don't lose it." I poked at the fire. "And you?" He shrugged. "People I had. They're ghosts now." Silence settled between us, heavy but not uncomfortable. Somewhere far off, a coyote called. "You're not as alone as you think," I said quietly. For a long time, Cole didn't answer, but I saw the corner of his mouth twitch, just enough to know he'd heard me. At dawn, the camp was wrapped in fog. Cole brewed coffee over the fire, the smell cutting through the chill. He handed me a tin cup, his eyes sharper than I'd seen them yet. "You stand up like that again," he said. "You better be ready for what comes next." I took a sip, letting the heat warm me. "Guess I'll have to be." He studied me for a moment, then gave a slow nod. "All right, Jack. Guess we ride together a little longer." And just like that, it wasn't just coincidence anymore. We were on the same road now, for better or worse. By the time we hit the highway again, the morning sun was burning off the fog. Cole rode up alongside my truck, giving me a nod that said more than words could. I thought about those three men, about the way they'd looked at him, like he was a debt they intended to collect. I didn't know the full story yet, but I knew this: whatever road Cole was on, I was on it now too. The wind roared, the white lines blurred beneath us, and for the first time in years, I felt like I wasn't just driving. I was going somewhere that mattered. If you're riding with us, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next chapter. The road's getting darker, and Jack and Cole are just getting started.